Hello guys, welcome back to the What's Your Why podcast. This is episode number 7. As you can see, we've changed it up a little bit, got the all white aesthetic background. Shout out to the newish studio. This is where we shoot and produce all episodes, so big shout out to them boys. If you're looking to create some amazing content in the Newcastle region, these boys and this space is the space you want to create your content in, so shout out them. We have a really special guest on today's episode. I can't wait to dive deep into their story. They're absolutely smashing it. They've got one of the most recognisable businesses in Newcastle, Mr. Jackson Sykes. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me on board.
How are you today, bro?
A little bit nervous, to be honest with you. This is not what I'm usually used to doing.
Yeah.
You know, when you film for me, like how many takes and stuff like that, it usually gets me to do it. But like, the longer I've been doing it with you, I think the more confident I've been getting in myself and knowing the online presence and stuff like that, how important it is.
Yeah.
So, like, it is what it is. Like, I'm here and I've got to do what I've got to do.
Let's go, bro.
Let's go.
I'm keen to get into a bit of your story. So we'll start. What's the biggest difference between your 18-year-old self and the person you are today? What would you say has been the biggest change?
Everything. Everything.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that, like, people that might watch this and if they knew me when I was 18 years of age, everything.
Yeah.
I was interesting sort of kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was had a massive ego.
Yeah.
I was in a lot of trouble when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? But like between now and then, I think that the biggest thing was growing up, like having to learn to grow up and stand on your own 2 feet. And you know, I got a lot of help by my parents and stuff like that when I was 18 to keep me out of a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And God bless them. So
yeah, what changed for you, do you reckon? What made you want to like...
when I was 21,
yeah,
my mum suddenly died.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she suddenly died of a heart attack when I was 21.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like, it's sad, but basically that from that like day on, I was still in the car industry then as well. Like I was selling cars since I was 18, in trouble, going through all that stuff. But like, as soon as that happened in my life, I was just like, fuck.
It was kind of like an eye-opener.
Yeah, that was a massive eye-opener to me.
For sure.
And seeing like how much trouble I put them through, going through like courts and stuff like that when I was younger, and my dad, how upset he was when she died, and my brothers and all that sort of stuff. It sort of put my whole life into perspective of like, stop being such a loser.
Yeah,
you know
wow, that's powerful.
Stop being such a loser. Like you're running around here trying to be hanging out with tough people that think they're tough, but like they're really not.
Yeah.
And basically that was a massive change point in my life. That when that happened, I dialed right in. I was in the car industry. I took over into a manager's role, and I just from there on there I was just like, that's it. I'm done with that sort of life. And I'm never going back to it.
I'm locking in.
That's
wow.
it. Simple as that.
Wow. Credit to you, bro. That's really amazing. And thanks for being a bit vulnerable there. That takes a lot of courage.
Yeah, I know. It sits with me like I'm happy to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I've had my rough times with it. I still have my rough times with it and stuff like that. But I'm happy to talk about it because I know there's people doing like a lot rougher than that. Like, you know, I've still got my dad. I've still got my brothers. I've still got my wife. I've still got my wife's family.
Yeah.
So it's all. I'm actually still pretty blessed if you think about it.
Yeah, great mindset, bro. How were you in school? Like, so you mentioned you mentioned you got in the car industry at 18.
Yeah, I was 17, I think. I was selling spare parts.
Really?
At a Holden dealership, like selling spare parts, and I was always looking up at the sales guys, and I'm like, these guys are making real money. I was making $450 a week.
Yeah, wow.
I was making $450 a week, and I was driving a Subaru Iris Impreza. I thought I was the man.
Yeah, of course.
But these guys up there, they're like, I was like watching them walk around with their tires and stuff like that on and their stuff. I'm like, I'm going up there.
Yeah.
So
okay. Talk to me. So you obviously you've dropped out of school. I'm assuming you didn't do like your studies.
I started year 11, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I dropped out. My whole family, except for my other brother, but like they're 3rd generation miners.
Yeah.
And I was like, in my like school and stuff like that, I was like, fuck yous. Anyway, I'm going to the mines to work for my dad because my dad was the boss of the mines at the time.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, doesn't matter what you say, I'm still going to go to work in the mining industry and, don't have to do much.
Yeah.
And boy, did that change.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I went and done like 6 months there or something like that and smelt of oil and shit. And
hated it.
Like, hydraulic oil and all that sort of stuff. And I was just like, no,
this isn't for me.
no chance I'm working in this place.
So what made you go car industry? Let's try it.
I don't know. I just I always thought that I was destined to talk to people and hang around, like, you know, the environment where you get to wear nice clothes and you don't have to have dirty hands, although it is still like a mind struggling job that you have to deal with from time to time. But like, it was just, that was the reason I really liked the appeal of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So you've left the mines. You've gone into this car dealership. You're selling parts. You're saying
Parts, spare parts, like nuts, bolts, washers.
How did you get
filters.
into? Yeah. Right. So it's so funny because you have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So what made you, like, talk to me about that first day getting into that sales position? How you felt?
It was I think I might have like just been like middle 18, and it was at Newcastle Toyota. Yeah, I started straight there as a used car salesman.
Yeah.
And like I thought I was balling.
Yeah.
I thought I was balling because I was like, yeah, I'm getting paid $800 a week now, plus I'm getting paid like $200 or something like every car I sold. Or, you know, and I was grinding hard and
of course
and trying to be better and stuff like that. But at the same time, I was still being a naughty boy on the other side of things. I wasn't you know, probably doing the right things I should have been doing.
Yeah.
For sure. But like as I said, I made a massive change. I got away from all that. The people that I used to hang around like back in the day, I don't even know what they're doing now.
Yeah.
Pretty sure probably some of them are still in jail. Like,
yeah, wow.
I got no idea. Like, I just completely changed my whole entire life and people that hang around.
What's your advice to, you know, there's a lot of young people that listen to this podcast and stuff, and I think the biggest thing for me when I do this is how can I provide value to young listeners that want to take action in their lives? Do you have any advice to someone that may be 18, 19, that, you know, maybe have just started a job and they're thinking it's not what they want to do for the rest of their life? Do you have any advice to those type of people that, you know, just maybe need to hear some words of inspiration, you know?
What did I tell you when you first started working for me?
What's that?
What did I tell you when you first came and worked for me?
I don't know.
You don't remember? Where were you working?
Bunnings. I was working at Bunnings.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what did I say to you? When you're in there and you're filming and stuff like that and you're working at Bunnings and you're like trying to juggle your job in between
Didn't you
shifts,
say just quit or something?
I said just quit.
Yeah.
Be done with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you've got some sort of aspirations or desires to be someone or do something in life, my biggest advice to them is just do it.
Take action.
Take action. Don't be scared. Like, I've taken the biggest thing from, I was in like a really, really good paying position when I left to go out by myself. And it was super scary. Like, it was a very scary thing to do. But
it's paid off.
Take action. I didn't know if it was going to pay off.
Of course.
Like, no one does. But if you don't try, you'll never know, sort of thing, you know what I mean? So that's why to you, I was like, fuck Bunnings.
Yeah.
Man. I was like, fuck Bunnings, man.
I actually remember that now.
I was like, fuck Bunnings Warehouse, man. I said, get here and film for me. And then I was like, what do you want to like do, like a month-to-month thing? You're like, yeah. Sign up on the little thing with you, and I was like, all right, sweet, you're on board with me now, so at least you know you got that.
Exactly.
And then we're going to build on that, and then you went to the next person, I was like, oh, what a little hustler. I was heaps proud of you. I was like,
thanks, bro.
Yeah, that was mad.
Yeah.
You've done a really good job building yourself up pretty quick.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I actually remember that conversation now, and one of the first things you said to me, like, I just met you in that at your old warehouse, and you said, what are you doing? Like, and I said, oh, I'm trying to build this, and I'm at Bunnings still. He's like, you said, fuck Bunnings.
Yeah,
like,
fuck
just,
it.
and I mean, I stayed probably a bit longer than what I should have, but that was more out of a mindset. I had a bit of a weirder mindset to most people, because if you start doing well at my age, I feel like you get complacent.
Yeah, that's right.
So I wanted to kind of go the opposite way. I wanted to go like, how far can I go while still working like at Bunnings? But then it got to the end of last year and I was like, nah, man, like I have to go into the new year, like no ties attached, and go all in. So, but that was, I remember
Cognition
that.
Media.
Cognition Media. Let's go,
Media,
baby.
that's the one.
Yeah.
You've been killing it. I love it.
Thanks,
Absolutely
bro.
love
Thank
it.
you.
It's awesome.
So, that's great advice. So I think a lot of people get some value out of that. So simply take action.
Take action and start doing it straight away. You know what I mean? When I done it, like, God bless it, paid off for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But also it wasn't like a mad smooth sail into it.
Yeah.
I got into it and I realised that I work for myself now. I've got a business partner that I work with that obviously he owns a mechanical workshop and stuff like that. He does all that sort of things and I take care of all the sales side of things. I mean, not actually sales. I got my Josh.
Josh, shout out
to Josh. Because without him, I'd be stuffed because I was doing it all by myself.
Yeah.
I was buying the cars, selling the cars. I was like, going mental and before I was like, Josh, I have to get you over here. And I got him straight over there and he does all the managing side of things of like selling all the vehicles. He does a great job at doing that. So thank you very much for Josh.
Shout out Josh.
He does an awesome job.
Just when he's hungry, you just got to stay away from him.
He gets a little bit touchy and sometimes you have to pull him back into gear and say, shut up.
That's funny. Yeah.
But no, he's a really good kid, man. And I got a lot of time for Josh. And wherever I go in this business, he'll come with me.
Yeah,
for sure.
I love that. I love how you take your mates with you. That's so cool.
I've known Josh since high school too. And we probably weren't even the best of friends then. Because I was probably being a little prick to everyone.
Yeah,
I was bad. But when we grew up, Josh actually started working for me when I was a manager at Kelly's.
Yeah, right.
At Kelly Trotter at Cardiff, and we were working together from there, and ever since then we've just been best friends. And I told Josh from there, I said, I'm leaving this place. Trust me, I'm going to leave and I'm going to work for myself. And he'd be like, yeah, whatever, man. You're the manager here. You're not going to go anywhere. And I was like, I'm going. Trust me, I'm going. And then I just did it. Yeah. Told the DP one day, I said, I'm going. And that's me. And he goes, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to go work for myself. That's it. I went to work in Sydney by myself for like a year and a half, 2 years, and then started this up.
Wow. What made you, I might just get your mic just a little bit closer. I just don't know.
That good?
We're not wearing the headphones today, so the closer the better. What made you, let's talk about that, because then I want to get into the North stuff, which is huge. So what made you take action? Like you said, you were in a very comfortable role. You were absolutely killing it in your role before Nor. What made you go, I'm going out on my own, I'm building a business, I'm building my own brand?
I started seeing and developing relationships with other people in the industry that were working in Sydney, Melbourne, and like outside of Newcastle is very small, you know that?
Yeah.
Very small. And I started developing relationships with them, and I was closely looking at them, and I'm like, this guy's driving a Lamborghini. I'm like, what? Well, I'm taking home a Holden Commodore from work as like a drive car as a manager, and that was cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy's driving a Lambo, and he's got like McLarens in his workshop and stuff like that. And these are the type of blokes you want to hang yourself around with,
of course,
if you want to like progress further. And I was just like, nah. And actually, one of them guys pulled me out of there, and he told me to quit the job that day, and I did that day, and he promised me that he'd take me down to Sydney with him, and I'd work with him, and I'd make some money and
learn.
Yeah, it paid off tenfold for me.
So when you did go, you quit your job, you went down to Sydney. What changed for you? What'd you see?
I was hanging out with some heavy hitters. Like these guys are the guys in the car industry that people will never see. They don't work at dealerships. They're the ones on the back end buying hundreds and hundreds of cars a month. Selling them as well. And they're the guys on like, couple $1 million, $3 million a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just in the background working. And I was like hanging out with them, going to lunches with them. You know what I mean? They're having like $4,000 lunches and stuff like that. They're having like $4,000 lunches, and I'm just sitting in the corner just like looking around at them like, all right.
Yeah.
I think I can find myself a way I can slide in here. You know what I mean? So
for sure.
I just slowly worked at that and hanged around with them, and also like building like trust and relationships with them. They don't just like, let anyone, you know what I mean?
Of course.
These are the sort of guys that will just be like, if they like you and you treat them with respect and you work for them and you grind for them, they'll see that, and then they'll like, let you in the circle. Now that even to this day, they're the people that I do 95% of my work with. I could count in like my hand, there's like 5 people in the whole car industry that I deal with. That's it. Simple. Because you keep your circle small,
of course, and
trustworthy. That's how you go.
Bang. They say your network is your net worth. How do you build this solid network of people, and how do you like go about it? Because I'm sure that's a lot of things. There's a lot of people out there that see these people. How do you go about it? How do you meet these people to then
in the car industry when I was younger, and there was always people above me, and I was climbing the ladder, and I had to, like, you know, you start to meet them, you know, and you buy about like one phone call from them, and then, you know, they'll call you back again, and then you just keep going back and forth for ages, and then it comes to that point where then, like, you finally get to meet them, and then it sort of just blows up from there. If they like it, they like you. If they don't, they don't. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's as simple as that.
So you wouldn't say, like, you were just kind of organic, natural. You weren't forcing anything, like trying to.
Like, yeah, you gotta have it.
Yeah.
You gotta have it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they'll know if you don't. So, but it also is like a lot of hard work as well.
Of course.
I remember when one of my first jobs for them boys in Sydney is they had like a limited amount of funds to buy cars with, and it was crazy because that they would send me. My job was to buy the cars, and what they were doing is they were sending out like 150 leads to me a day on my phone on this WhatsApp group, and I'm scrolling through this WhatsApp group, and they're like, this car, buy this car for this price, buy this car for this price, and I'm on the phone every single, like, all day from like in the morning to the night, talking to people saying, like, you know, blah, 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 I'm going to buy your car. This is the price I'm going to pay for it. I'll give you a $2,000 deposit right now and I'll pick it up next week. So I'm booking trucks and cars all the way over Australia. This is from like Melbourne to the top of Australia.
Wow.
Like, so that was their job. They were just sending me, that was my job, sorry.
Yeah.
They'll send all these cars because they're up there on the internet looking at, they had like a team of them, like looking at all these cars to buy, and they'd send them through to me, and then I'd buy them, and then I had the banking details and everything like that to the company, and I'd just like load the payments for the cars, like, all right, I bought this car, left a $2,000 deposit, book it into the system, and then next week the car would go from Queensland to a dealership in New South Wales.
Yeah, wow.
And in COVID times and that, they were making some serious money.
Yeah,
I was like sitting back watching, I'm like, oh.
Because all the cars kind of went up, in COVID. Like, it was like that, and it's a crazy time.
There were some crazy times happening in that time, big time.
I wish I was kind of like my age now back then, because I feel like...
Yeah, you would have been making bulk money.
But yeah, so, okay, what's the biggest, like, thing that you got out of these people? Like, your biggest thing that you saw maybe... Like you learned that, you go. So.
No. I just like straight away, I was like, I learned that they got massive balls.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? They got massive balls. They're throwing around a lot of money.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that go into businesses and they open like car yards and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with like them playing it safe and all that sort of stuff. But I live on the wild side.
Yeah.
So I really the more risks you take can be the bigger reward, but also can be a big downfall. Don't get me wrong, like I've had massive rewards, but I've also had some downfalls as well. Not everything runs as smooth as everyone sees it. And they're like, oh, look at him, he's going mad.
Yeah.
But it always outweighs the worst. You know what I mean? Like if you're taking risk, the reward is going to be better than not taking it at all.
Of course.
100%. Like that's what I was learning, and I was just like, I've taken some big risks and they've paid off big time. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
and it was on no one else's shoulders but mine. And my business partner, he was tweaking. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was tweaking, and he's like a sort of man like that. He's very mysterious. Probably wouldn't even want me to say his name on here. That's how he's very mysterious. But like, you know, like I've taken some massive risks. Yeah, and he's like, no, like, you know what I mean? But they paid off. So. Luckily for me.
Was there any piece of advice that you received from these people that kind of sticks with you today, that you received from them guys?
Yeah, it's just about, like, honestly keeping the relationships with people. I reckon it, like, if they're the same guys I still talk to today. So it's all about keeping relationships with people and building on it. I still build on relationships with people today. But if you can't be trustworthy and build relationships with people, you're going to go nowhere. Because I know a lot of people in the car industry, and this car industry hasn't really got a good name. Like, there's a lot of snakes in the car industry.
For sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just like them slimy people that just roll around. And it's true. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was probably one of them slinging cars out of a dealership. That's why I opened up my own thing. Yeah. And we're so generic, you know that? Like,
of course,
like when people come in, I talk to them as a human being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Josh does as well. Like, we talk to them as like they're... Like, we live the same life as you. Yeah. Like, so there's nothing different. We're not, and I'll tell them, if you don't want the car, you're more than welcome. Don't take the car. Yeah. Someone else is going to buy it.
I've been in the workshop multiple times when there's people like potential clients, customers in there. And the crazy thing is, when you think of a wholesale or car dealership, you think of that dodgy car yard salesmen.
Well, it is.
They're like salesy and they try and get you and stuff. Whereas you boys, are just laid back.
Well, it is. Like, and they're still like that.
Yeah.
There is, because they try to institutionalize your brain when I was working there. That's why I like left, is like, oh, you're on good money. You're getting paid superannuation.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting paid your commissions every month.
Yeah.
And then that's why you'd be like a robot trying to sell to people and making them like beg them not to leave until they bought the car. But now, like, that I would do it my way and the way that I want to do it, it works 100 times better. Like, I know the places that I used to work at, like, I double them now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of the way we do our processes now is talk to people like they're human beings.
Yeah.
And don't be jumping down their throat and say, buy the car, buy the car, buy the car.
Yeah.
We're just like, look, there's the car. I'm pretty sure we got a pretty good price on it.
Yeah.
We're happy to negotiate a little bit. If you want it, you want it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
So true. I've seen it time and time again, and I've got to commend you boys for that, because it is, if you're buying a car, it's a very easy experience with you guys.
And also people get like so worked up about it. And when they come into us, their walls are like all the way up because they've been to 5 other dealerships and they're like, oh, they're going to run straight out to us and like try to...
Yeah.
Not so much me anymore, because I don't really get to be in there. I do it every now and then, but Josh is like a mastermind at it, man. Like, he's a good salesman, because I've like, even the way that we approach our customers is, it's like pressure-free approach.
Yeah.
Take it for a drive. If you don't want the car, don't buy the car.
Yeah.
If you want the car, we're here to help you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's simple.
Very simple. That's cool. Just taking it back now to kind of your younger days before you know, when
we
you
just
were
stay away from them.
No. Pardon me. Not too young. I just want to know about what was the biggest thing you learnt on the come up as a car salesman, and then hustle. Yeah. I meant to ask you that earlier, but then we kind of got into like some good stuff.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's good, and I wanted to let it flow. So we'll quickly talk about that, and then we'll go into North. So.
Sure. So basically, when I was like younger coming up, we used to have these big whiteboards, and there was like 10 salesmen in the dealership, and you have your name on the top of the whiteboard, and you'd write the customer's name you sold the car to. Tick, 1 car sold. Tick, 2 cars sold. I would go as far to say as 80 to 90% of the time, I was number 1 on that sales list because I was always hustling. You know what I mean? I always wanted to make more money. I always wanted to, you know, do better than everyone else. And I've got a little bit of a competitive sort of side of me where I don't like seeing other people do better than me, but I also do like seeing them do better than me if it's in a business aspect. Yeah. But if we're going head to head on a sales pitch, like, I want to win.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, like, I really, in business, if I see my friends do good, I love it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Like, you, for an example, what I've seen you've done, I'm like super impressed with what you've done.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
I really am super impressed with what you've done, because you left your job, you took a risk, you went home and you delivered all your videos when you told me you were going to deliver them, and that's a big thing for me as well. If you tell someone you're going to do something, do it.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So that's mad. But like, yeah, for me, when I was growing up, I always wanted to be the best salesman. That's it.
What's your okay? I really like sales too, so I need to ask you this question. What's your in terms of sales? What has sales taught you as a person, and then what's your biggest tip to people to get better at sales?
I would definitely say your biggest tip to get better at sales is stop trying to be someone that you're not, and be genuine yourself. There is being a salesperson where you can still follow the processes, where following people up, follow them up, don't let them go cold and everything like that.
Of course,
but also just be yourself, because people, if I'm sitting in front of you and I'm like giving you like a robot speech in front of you, you're like, oh my God, this guy's been taught this off a book.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But like, if you're a salesperson out there and you want to be better, I would definitely recommend you to know what you're talking about before you start talking. Don't go talking shit, because they'll find out in 10 seconds. If you know what you're talking about and the product that you're selling, it's much easier. And be genuine, be yourself. Like, you can actually sell something to someone being yourself and genuine person.
Of course, I think
that's my biggest advice to someone.
Yeah, that's great advice. Be genuine and know what you're talking about. I love it.
Definitely know what you're talking about, because I've gone into some situations before when, you know what I mean, I'm talking about like cars in my younger days. I'm like, it has this, it has that. And then they become like, it doesn't have this. I'm like, Well,
Yeah, and I mean, we all have,
Yeah.
like, right? Like, I mean, prime example for me was when I was fucking at Bunnings and I'm trying to sell a barbecue to someone. So, bro, I don't know. I'm 16. Like, I've never
I can't even cook.
I haven't used a barbecue
Yeah.
before, and they're asking, and I'm like, oh, bro, I don't know. I'm just a kid, man. Come on.
you got to be genuine.
Yeah, no, those are two really good
And know what you're talking about.
pillars. While we're still on the topic of sales, what has it taught you in a social environment and interacting with people on a daily basis?
It's definitely taught me that the sort of people that I like want to hang around and stuff like that. I've still got my like, good friends and stuff like that that don't like, have nothing to do with sales or anything like that. But it's my crew's got a lot smaller, and I just want to hang around like-minded people.
Of course.
You know what I mean? That sort of have the same ambitions and goals that I have in life. Because, you know, you show your friends and you'll see your future. That's the sort of thing, you know what I mean? I used to hang around people when I was younger, and I was like got into a lot of trouble. And it was like my fault as well because I chose to hang around them. But now, like, I hang around smart,
Like-minded
business people that teach me things every single day. You know what I mean?
And energy's contagious, right? So if you're hanging around like bad people,
Oh, yeah.
not even that, just like toxic people or negative people.
Negative people's the worst, man.
Because then, like I said, energy's contagious. That brings you down. So you want to
negative people are the worst. Like, if they're negative, I hate it. Like, get out of my life. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, I'm the sort of person that wants to give everything a go and try everything. You know what I mean? And if there's always someone that's Debbie Downer on it, like, just put a damper on your parade. You're like, just get out of here.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
Talk to me now about when was the first kind of thoughts of Nor? When did that spring apart? When did you go, right, I want to open Newcastle Automotive Wholesalers? Talk to me about those first few.
I told Josh when he was working like with me at I was the manager of the used car department at Kelly Trotter Motor Group in Cardiff before that, and I told Josh like when I was being the manager, I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, I'm leaving this place. I'm going to do it my way. Blah blah blah. He was probably like, yeah, whatever, man. Like, but I was like, I know we're going to do it together and everything like that. But that's when it first sort of popped into my head when I was a manager, and I couldn't, because it's like a massive company, and they've got their roles and all that set. Sorry.
You're right.
They've got their roles and all that set. Like, you don't really have the opportunity to do what you want to do in your mind. Like, your job is basically there as a manager is to sell the cars, make sure the cars are sold, and deal with every single whinging customer that comes back to you. That's it. But I wanted to like expand my mind, like with you, with the media stuff, and I wanted to buy different cars and all that sort of stuff. But they'd sort of cap you on what you could do and try to limit you. That's why I really hate. I wouldn't say hate, because it's a good job. For some people that want to do that, not
you
9 to
wanted a bit
5:30. I just wanted more than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it, like, my visions of what I do now are completely different to what's in a dealership. We're not a dealership. We're Newcastle Automotive Wholesalers.
You're a brand now.
We're a brand. We're Newcastle Automotive Wholesalers, and I genuinely believe within the next 2 years we'll be the biggest used car dealership in the whole of Newcastle.
I think he's there now.
No, we're not there now. There's a few people that pump out a little bit more numbers than us.
Really?
We might be there on social media and stuff like that. But there's some stuff coming up real soon.
Yeah.
That, you know,
Yeah.
there's some stuff coming up real soon that it's going to surprise a lot of people. And yeah, I really truly believe I'll give it a timeline. 2 years we'll be the biggest in the whole of Newcastle.
I love it, bro. I can't wait to see it. What does it feel like running your own brand and business? How does that make you feel?
Excited, stressful, angry, sad, every sort of emotion that you can think.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not all sunshines and rainbows, but it's I'm very proud of it.
Of course.
I'm very proud of Newcastle Automotive Wholesalers. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where we've come from and what we've done. I'm very proud of what we've done, but like it does come with its downfalls, like with owning your own business and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can't keep everyone happy in the industry. You're constantly taking, for me personally anyway, I'm on the phone. My first message when I wake up in the morning, I wake up around 6:30 every single morning, and my first message is someone about the car or do you want this car or
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And my last message of the night is about a car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It just doesn't
It
stop.
just is. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And I accept that.
Yeah.
That's my life for now.
Yeah.
And until someone can replace me and do what I do,
Yeah.
that's my life for now.
Yeah. I like
You
that.
just got to do it. I'm only like 30 next year, so
Yeah.
I understand, and my business partner's played a big role in my life. He gave me a massive opportunity in life, and he's very wise. Like, even though that like we don't click like 100% because he's like he's very tight. You know what I mean? He's very tight. He doesn't like giving much money away or anything like that. Whereas, me as I like to live the lifestyle that I like to live, and that comes with working extra hard. And he knows that. You know what I mean? So he sort of gives me a little bit of leeway on it. But, But like, we work very good together. We've known each other since like I was 17 as well. He's a bit older than me, so yeah, we're tight. I like him. I love him.
Yeah. What has business taught you about life?
Ooh, I don't know. Business about life, like, I know for one thing, business never stops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like to go on like my holidays and stuff like that. And even when I'm away, is that if you stop, your business will start declining and everything like that. So you got to have momentum. You've always got to have some sort of procedure in place. Even when you go on your 2-3 week holiday or a month holiday, you got to make sure that you can answer some questions on your phone. It will take like half an hour a day. You know what I mean, just to answer it. But like business has taught me about life. And it's like just always show up, always give it a red hot crack, and yeah.
Probably take action.
Someone said to me one day, it was like a really, really weird one. They said, always pay your taxes and never touch another man's missus. I was like, oh, if you could say one thing about business is always pay your taxes, and don't touch another man's missus. Simple.
Clip that.
Clip that out.
Clip that. Clip that. Okay, I like that. What's the best piece of business advice you received from someone? And then we'll go to the worst. I always like to start on a positive.
The best piece?
Yeah.
The piece that I told you, leave.
Yeah, take action.
Take action.
Yeah.
Don't sit around on your ass. And then it's not having a dig at anyone that does a 9-to-5 job, because that's their comfortability in life. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the best one would be for me was like, take action, do it. Like, stop being so scared. Like, I'm pretty sure he called me a pussy.
Yeah.
The guy in Sydney, I was like, what'd you just call me? Like, you call me a pussy, like I won't do it?
Yeah.
And I was like, that day, I was like, yeah, I'm done, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to do it. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
If you try, what's the worst that can happen? You can go back to your old job. You know what I mean? Then you can work it all out again. You can try it again.
Yeah. I think as society as a whole, like, we all think like failing is a bad thing, but I'm starting to rearrange my mind to like failing's good.
It's not too bad, man.
Like, failing is actually...
Yeah, you learn a lesson from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like we're so programmed to like, if you do fail, it's a bad thing. But it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Not at all.
And another thing, like, I've kind of come to the realization as well, and I was thinking about this the other day, is like, we all wait for the perfect timing, but there's no such thing as the perfect time.
Exactly right.
The perfect time, and sounds cringe and cliche, but it's truly true. The perfect time is now.
It is, definitely.
Because
don't wait because,
because then you're just going to keep putting it off.
You're just going to be putting it off forever.
Yeah.
I've seen and I know people like in my life that are like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I've tried to explain to them, it's like, just do it.
Bro,
like, just do it. I've told you, I said, just do it, man. Like, it's and the feeling when it pays off, it's exhilarating, isn't it?
Oh, it feels
It's
amazing.
like, is there a better feeling than when something pays off like that? When you've taken a jump and you're like, yes, and I've just done it.
And it's just like reassurance and fuel to do more.
Puts fuel in the fire for you,
for sure.
Definitely.
So yeah. Okay, what's your worst piece of business advice you ever you received?
Worst piece would be like, oh, you've got a great job. I remember like I've had like bosses above me when I was in the dealerships and stuff like that. They were like, it's not bad advice because I did have a good job and it was very good
it just
paying.
didn't align to you.
But it just didn't align in my head to think that, what, you want me to sit here and
be comfortable?
I've seen people that have been there from like 30 years and they're walking around dragging their knuckles on the ground And I'm like, oh, no way I'm doing that. So like for them to tell me that the best bit of advice would be to, sit there, earn your wage. It's a good wage. You're getting paid superannuation. You're getting all this sort of stuff. No chance. That's a bad bit of advice. I would say if you've got some sort of inkling of any sort of dream in your life, take action on it straight away.
I like that. What's one thing you would tell your younger self?
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. That's exactly what I'd say to myself.
What do you reckon? So picture your 18-year-old self in the seat I'm sitting in right now. What do you reckon he would? I'm sitting across from you. What do you reckon he would say to you now?
That's a good question.
I just thought of it then.
Did you just think of that?
Yeah,
I was like, that's a good question because I honestly don't know, Colby. I was in a very bad headspace when I was 18 years of age.
Yeah.
I was running around, thought I was the toughest guy.
He'd be proud, but wouldn't he?
I don't know. I was in a bad headspace, so I'd hope so.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He'd be proud, bro. He'd be proud.
I hope, definitely. But I guess we'll never know because I'm never going back that way.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. But that was a good question. You got me off guard.
Thanks, bro. We'll reverse it. What would you say? Picture that the same thing. You're talking now. What would you say to him?
To the younger self?
Yeah.
I'd say get yourself into gear, mate, and sort your life out now. Like what you're doing is not normal.
Hindsight's amazing though, right?
Yeah, I know. But, definitely.
Obviously, you can't go back and change things.
You can't go back and change anything, but everything happens for a reason.
Of course.
And I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it didn't happen.
Of course. Same. I believe in that truly. Before we kind of go in the last section of this podcast, and mind you, this has been probably one of my favorite episodes, man. This has been really good. I've loved this.
Not just saying that because it's me.
No, I got you, my bro. Hand on heart. I'm sitting here and I'm analysing in my head whilst being super present, and I feel like it's probably
it's just because it's me and you.
Yeah, I feel super present in this too.
Yeah,
and maybe that's just me coming into getting more experience at doing this too, but. Honestly, this conversation I feel is one of the best I've had the honour to share on camera.
I appreciate you, man.
So, it feels great. And hopefully, man, the listeners agree because, I know a lot of people turn up each month.
Even if they don't, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
That's my biggest thing in life, you know what I mean? Like it, don't like it, we're still here.
Yeah. Okay, so you deal with cars all the time. You see some amazing cars. You own a really nice car too, and congrats, you got that recently. Give me your top 3 cars. What if you could choose any 3 car that you'd have? What would they be and why? And
I'm crazy with cars. You know me.
Yeah, I know.
How many cars have I had? I've had like 3 or 4 brand new ones since you've known me.
Yeah.
What have I got now? I got the 2024 Range Rover Sport, the new one.
Yeah, it's
sick
mint,
car.
bro.
I love it.
It's mint.
I love it. But
so top your 3 cars.
All right. So I've always wanted one of them.
Yeah.
And I put it in my mind that I'm going to get that. And my next car is 100% McLaren.
McLaren?
Yeah, McLaren.
Yeah.
And I also love the Lamborghini Aventadors.
Yeah, rightio.
They're awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, mad.
They're like SUV types. You can't beat like the Range Rover Sport. They're so got so much high tech.
Yeah.
Electronic suspension.
Great every day.
Every single day. Car.
What I mean? And then you got your fun toys to play around with.
Yeah. Watch out for the McLaren soon.
Yeah. I love it, bro. I love it. Okay. What holds you back?
Nothing.
Nothing
holds me back.
Is there anything? Any insecurity that?
No. Well, there is. Like when I go home and think about some stuff in my own brain, but then like when I bring it into the business world, nothing will hold me back.
I like that.
Nothing will hold me back.
And you answer that very quickly.
Yeah, because it's like straight. Nothing will hold me back.
Yeah, because it's true.
And if you let someone believe there will be something to hold you back, there will be. But there is nothing that will hold me back.
I love that.
There's nothing. I told you that we're going to be the biggest in Newcastle. I promise you, we'll be the biggest in Newcastle.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, bro. That was so genuine and just so like you truly believe it. Like
I do believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that answer. That's so good. I like this next question, and I say it in each podcast because I believe everyone has a different definition of it. Define success for me. What does success mean and look like to you?
It's different to everyone, yeah?
Yeah.
So it's like my question, you want my honest answer?
Yeah, your honest answer because, bro,
Okay.
I've done 7 episodes now.
Yeah.
All 7 answers have been different.
Okay. So my success is financial freedom. So when like I can walk out into this car park right now and jump in my car, go to the airport and
Go somewhere.
fly anywhere in the world I want to fly. You know what I mean? And also it's, I own my house and there's never any like, oh, the mortgage repayments are due or anything like that, you know? So my success is comfortability, living a good life, and also making sure, like, they don't need it, but like making sure that anyone in my whole entire family or my circle group, if like they need something, like they know that I'll be there for them and help them out, like financially or anything like that as well. But I know they don't even need it, but like if someone needs something, I would like to be there to help them out.
Yeah. No, I like that answer, man. That's really good. You in one word.
Me in one word.
Yeah. And then I want you to elaborate on it.
Oh, crazy.
Crazy.
I don't know. I'm full on, you know me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I've got ADHD or something like
It's
that.
so funny how many high achievers I've met in the last 12 months that all have some sort of AD.
Yeah, but
ADD.
I also another fun fact about me is that probably everyone that like watches this that knows me is I can't really spell or read very good.
Yeah.
I think I've got dyslexic.
Yeah.
I think I'm dyslexic.
Yeah.
But if you put any sort of numbers in front of me and you're talking about like, you know, we're talking about changeover figures on cars, percentages or anything like that, I can nail them straight away. You know what I mean? But like if you ask me to write a mad email, chat GPT. I'm just straight into that and just I'm like looking through it. I was showing my brother the other day. I was like, he was trying to write an email about like, you know, try to be like a little bit angry at his client, but like, and I was like, watch this. I showed him the chat GPT and he's like, oh my God, where has this been? And I was like, well, when you're dyslexic, you got to have this sort of stuff in your
bro,
life.
it is the ultimate tool. I've been using it recently and it is
good, eh?
Oh, bro,
You can't beat it.
It's crazy.
It's scary
how
too. It's going to take over our jobs probably one day.
Yeah, probably.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy how dialed in it is. Okay, so we have a closing tradition on this podcast where the last guest from the last episode writes in a question to us, the next guest.
What was your last guest's name?
Chrissy.
Okay.
I
think I've seen her on social media and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I'll interested to see what she's got to say.
So she's written down here, in a room full of people, would you rather be the most educated person there or the least educated, and explain your reason why?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to be the most educated person there.
So you wouldn't want to be the most educated?
No.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be a smarter person in a room than you. And no matter how smart you think you are. And I'd rather be the most social person in the room, walking around, getting to know everyone.
Just being a sponge and learning.
Yeah, sponge and learning off people. You know what I mean? If you can walk into a room and like you're the smartest person in the room, but you really can't like socialize with everyone and talk to everyone, or you're not the smartest person in the room and I can walk into that room full of 100 people, was it?
Yeah, just in a room full of people.
Well, if I can shake hands and meet 50 and bring 5 different ideas out of that room, I think it's way better than being the smartest person in the room, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? So there's your question, Chrissy.
Yeah, answer.
Sorry.
Answer, yeah. And I'll get yours off camera for the next guest.
Okay.
Which I don't know who is yet, so.
I'll do a really interesting one for him.
Yeah, we'll chat GPT.
I'll chat GPT.
Write me a list of questions I could ask this guest and then, enter. This is the What's Your Why podcast. What's your why?
My why is definitely would 100% be my mum. I do everything for her now and my wife and my family. That's my why.
I love that.
That's it. I just want to make my mum proud because she's seen me go through probably some of the worst stuff and I probably put her through some of the worst stuff. And now if she could see me, I'd just do everything like for her, sort of like legacy sort of thing. And then like my wife, she's a business owner as well. She's a hustler.
Yeah.
I teach her to get out there and get after it as well.
Yeah.
And so it's for her. It's for my dad. It's for my 2 brothers. It's for my mother and father-in-law. It's for my 2 sister-in-laws. That's my why.
Love that. Great answer, bro. Let's close this out. What's next for you? Talk to me about, what's next. What anything you'd like to put out there? Any last piece of wisdom you want to give the audience?
Just keep your eyes on NAW Instagram and Facebook, and you'll see within the next maybe week or 2 weeks.
Sweet.
Next for me is something like that's another growth in the business, but we've got a lot more coming.
Love that, bro. Any last piece of wisdom you'd like to say to the listeners?
I don't know how much wisdom you think I have. You know what I mean?
There's been some golden nuggets. There's been some good golden nuggets.
Yeah, I don't know how much wisdom you think I have, but I think we've touched on it a few times. If you want it, go get it.
Bang.
That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening and watching this episode. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.